Okay, I'm gonna run you through everything start to finish. This is where all of the stuff for the cats will be. It'll always be drying in the sink. So you're gonna pull this stuff out of here. This goes under the plate. Whoops. This is Caton's dish, the one that has the tape on the bottom. Has high top sides so that she doesn't push the food off. This is Cassidy's food plate. Usually put it here. Both of these will end up in the bedroom. You will not have to do the weigh out process. You will go into the fridge for Caton, and these containers will have her food in them. So you'll always have one of these for each meal that you're feeding. Tricky's gonna make sure of that. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, you don't have to worry about because we will have already done the weigh out. However, you can still mix everything in this. So you're gonna dump the food out into here and then mix all that crap in too, okay? This is the spoon we use for her. If you remember, great. If not, don't worry about it. This is the one we use for the cat stuff, the black one. This is the one we use for the human stuff, but obviously they're in the same container, so sometimes we mix stuff up. You're gonna take one of these guys, and this will go under her stuff in the bedroom. I usually just set it under here for the time being. So dog bowls will be here. Order of things for me, I always feed Cassidy first. He's usually up on the counter. He's out in the patio right now, so he gets it should be a full scoop of his scooper of hard food. He may only eat hard food when you're here. He gets a little bit anxious when I'm not around. That's totally fine if that's the case. Everybody else gets one scoop, color coded. There will be enough food in these bins for you. But they're pretty good about waiting their turn. Sorry, the video is going to be weird because I'm using Tulip. Actually, I think you might remember me telling you there's a little black line on her cup. She doesn't get a full scoop because she gains a little bit too much weight if we give her the full scoop. Super sensitive to weight gains, and we have to be really careful about that because she was overweight before. Everybody else gets just like a level scoop, basically. Okay, you're gonna put all the little scoops back. I always give Louise hers first because she's the least patient of the three. They don't fight over their food. Also, if you could refill their waters before or after you put their food down, doesn't really matter. Just to make sure it's clean. Usually I'll do it beforehand, but sometimes I forget. Tulip's in the middle, and Amos is last. I only do one at a time because I've tried to carry 3 at once and I've dropped them, and that becomes a whole thing. So, but they're all really good about staying at their own bowl. Sometimes Tulip takes a little bit longer to finish, and they'll be a little bit rude about that and like crowd her. So just keep an eye on it. Usually it doesn't happen. Cat stuff. So those little containers are going to be basically in here. This is what I use when I'm feeding her because we keep a little back stock. This is Cassidy's second half of his wet food. It's always going to be in here at night for you. And you're going to want to grab this too. Because that goes in Caton's food. All right. This stuff is all coming over here. Here comes Cassidy. It's going to be a little bit weird trying to film all of this at once. So remember, you're going to be dumping out of here into this container to mix stuff. I'm going to be weighing it. And then when you're done with this, if you could just rinse this out and stick it into the dishwasher, that would be amazing. Thanks. But before we do Caton, I give Cass the rest of his. Sometimes he's over here waiting for his food. Sometimes he's not. I just push his food aside. And sorry, I'm doing this one-handed, so it's going to be kind of gross, but he may not eat any of that for you because he's probably going to be a little anxious. We'll see. It's okay if he doesn't. Just give him a little bit more hard food at the end. When you're wrapping up, you're going to move his food back over to here and just like give him an extra handful of hard, and you're going to have to clean that up too because we don't want bugs. Usually we don't leave the wet sitting there. So right now she's getting a mix of the kidney support diet and the regular. You won't have to worry about this because it's already going to be weighed out. But just so you know, the kidney support is like really deep red. There's like beet juice and stuff in there, and then she gets a little chicken. So it'll kind of look like that inside the container for you. So from here, you're gonna give her 4 drops of this stuff. You're gonna give her the scoop. It's the same scoop for everything that's a powder, okay? So this Miralax, you're gonna give her just 1 scoop of Miralax every single meal. And it's kind of just an assembly line down here. You're gonna give her a little squeeze of this stuff. It's not an exact measurement, like an inch of it, I guess. You're gonna give her 7 drops of CBD. Give it a little shake before you put it in there. This stuff is for Cass. You don't have to give her any of that. He doesn't get this all the time either. And then Katten also gets a scoop of this, which is lysine. I'll mark the top a little bit more clearly for you. So all of those things go in here. And it's gonna look like that. I don't pre-do this because I don't know about the efficacy of all this stuff sitting in the meat, like in the fridge. So that's why you have to mix that stuff in. You're gonna add some water. Again, not an exact science. Usually I just try to make a little puddle. You want the consistency to be like wet oatmeal once you mix it. I do want to caution you when you're mixing this at first. It's really easy to splash this water out of the bowl and it's just gross, so like try not to get it on yourself. You can kind of like stab at it at first to make sure it doesn't slosh everywhere on you. So it's fully mixed when you can like stir it around and there aren't any big huge clumps left. It's very chunky, but I mean you'll see like giant globs at first and then it'll kind of just become that consistent texture. So once we're done, we're gonna pour this onto the plate. And you want to scoop out anything extra if there is any. Otherwise, all of this stuff can be cleaned with this, and this is dish soap, so it's the antibacterial stuff. And then you're just gonna clean it, rinse it out. The disposal, once you're done with all of this stuff, is this switch right here. Every time you put meat down there, please run the disposal. But all this stuff can just dry here again like you saw initially. All right, so everything's clean. We're just gonna let that stuff dry. I did clean out the inside of that bag with the same scooper, just so you know. Final step with this for Katten is under here, we hide the paper towels because Cassidy shreds them, but you take 2 squares of the paper towels. This lives under Katten's plate. So basically this is gonna go on the floor underneath everything, but this is so she doesn't get meat all over this wood tower, and then this will lay on the ground in a minute. Before I go in there, these guys do get a little treat kind of thing at night, so they're gonna get half of one of these after their meal. I will try to do this one-handed. Nope, hold on. All right, so it's a heart shape. You just split it in half and each of them get a half for dinner time, okay? If you want to take this in multiple trips, you can, but we're gonna grab both that plate and this thing. So I find it's easiest to grip this like that. I've just done this a million times. I don't have 2 hands right now, but I'm gonna grab that one with my other hand and we're gonna go into the bedroom. So important to note, the dogs can come in here into the bedroom while you're doing this. They will, because they want you to give them cat food while Cassidy eats. This is always gonna be like this, where that little door is open and this is closed. You have to open the gate, obviously, to let yourself in. You can set this stuff down here. I always turn the light on. Inside this closet is your rug that you're gonna lay down for Katten. This is the bottom layer of her stack of things to keep her from like completely wrecking the room. She does still wreck it, as you can see on the mirror, but that goes down kind of right in the middle of the floor right there. Then we're gonna take the pee pad. Sorry, this is horrible filming and you're probably nauseous right now, but I'm trying to do it all together. I'm gonna set this down for a minute. We're gonna unfold the pee pad and set it down there. And then this goes right on top of that. So all we're doing is just trying to prevent her from making as big a mess as possible, but she still will. You'll see. Okay, and then Cassidy, whether he comes in or not to eat with you, I don't know. Normally he'll like expect you to put it where he goes. So sometimes he sits here, sometimes he sits there. I just put it down where he wants. He'll usually eat the wet food in here and then wander off. They're very respectful of this. They won't come in here. They won't try to come in and eat the food, but we will be closing that. We just have to let Katzen in. 9 times out of 10, she is going to be out here in the sun because it's, just the heat of the porch. Hey, Katzen. Hi. She will come running for food. She loves to eat. Cass is being a little weird. Good girl. So you just close this behind you and you can lock it. She will let herself in. She'll go straight to the food. I try to keep this shut when she's eating because she wanders off. However, Cass will open and close it 18 times. Just try to keep an eye on her. She really likes her butt scratched while she eats. She'll purr the whole time. So she's always very happy to get love like that. Right there on the base of her tail. And now begins the process of, I didn't forget the spoon. Kind of like letting her eat for 5 to 10 minutes, checking her out, seeing what's going on. And you're gonna have to take this spoon and scoop her food back to the middle a bunch of times. This morning she got super sick. She got a little something stuck in her throat, so she threw up 5 times in here. And then poops in her bed. Not that unusual. All the things for cleaning that are right here. We have paper towels. This spray should go anywhere you picked up puke. There's bags. I already have pre-made double bags in here to get everything. Best case scenario is you see it happen and you can clean up right after her. She'll usually puke 2 or 3 times. She will go back to eating after that. She just needs a minute. She'll usually circle around for 5 minutes or so. So there's Cass pushing his way through. He's going to eat his food. Good kitten. And sometimes he likes some encouragement. Again, he may be very finicky with you, and that's okay. Don't worry about it, okay? It'll take a couple days. And I steal some of his food. I bribe them to kind of hang out with us. So if you so choose, I always just kind of throw them a couple pieces. They love cat food. After I put her food down, I come in here and clean all of these food bowls because they're going to go right back in the cupboard where you found them. We like to prepare each other for the next meal. 9 times out of 10, I'm the one feeding them, but Tricky gets up super early, so it's just nice to have them kind of queued up and ready to go. I still haven't changed that water out, but I'll do that too. Again, same cleaning thing in all 3 of these. And I'm gonna set them in here when I'm done cleaning them. All right, so everything is drying. By the time Katzen's done with her food, these will be dry enough to put back into the cupboard. It actually doesn't matter if they're still wet when you put them in the cupboard because they're gonna dry, but basically you're just preparing Tricky for the next morning. So you can do this right away if you want. It doesn't really matter. And all that other stuff has to go in here, so when it's done. But we're gonna get cats in an hour, so those just go there, just like that. You don't have to actually clip that into the thingy. You can kind of just rest it, knowing Cass will come in and out as he's about to. He'll do it so many times, it's the most annoying thing ever, but just push it closed and she'll see the open door and run right out there, so that's half the fun. So he hasn't eaten his wet food yet, but if you're sitting right here, which is what I normally do, he'll come and sit with you typically, and you can drop little handfuls of food for him and see if he'll eat. It probably will take him a little bit. If he eats nothing while you're here, don't stress. When Tricky gets home, he will eat. He's just finicky. Katten is doing what Katten normally does, so just keep an eye on her. Her face is gonna be fucking disgusting. I'm so sorry about that. You don't have to like wipe her face as she goes, unless you see something get stuck on her eye or something like that. There's these things which you can use to wipe her face, or you can just do paper towels, which are right there, and just get some hot water and wipe her face off when she's done. It's not a perfect science. She hates it. Tricky is really bad at it, if I'm being completely honest. He leaves a bunch of crap on her face. So I'm fully expecting her mouth to be a disaster by the time I get back, and that is not a reflection on you. It's more reflection on Tricky, who has been doing this for as long as I have, but not as well. This takes a while to heat up, just so you know. All right, so it's warm. I have 2 paper towels. I'm gonna fold them into a little square. It's pretty warm. You don't want it to be like super hot, but it does help break up some of the shit on her face easier if it is a little bit warm. I'm just gonna demonstrate. Hey, Katten. If you back her into you, I showed you this, like I'm making a V with my legs and she's like tucked behind me. Let me see. I don't know if this is gonna work. I have no idea what this is showing right now, but hold on. Come here. You open it up a little and just like pinch lightly down her nose. Sorry, Katten. I've done this long enough that I know I can like pick stuff out of her eyes too while I'm doing this, but she really hates it. You're gonna make a mess. There's gonna be water everywhere. That's totally normal. Don't feel bad about it. Don't worry about the floor being gross, because Amos, when you're done, will come clean all the floor. He'll lick it up for you. And they'll wait quietly and patiently until you're done. And then when she's done, when she's had about an hour, she may not have eaten everything, and that's okay. Just keep scooping food back to the middle for her. And she'll keep coming back. You may have to remind her that she's eating. You know, keep doing this. Call her out of her orb. But when you pick all of this up, you're gonna obviously throw this out into the garbage, throw this into the garbage. Use the scrubby thing for the plate. If anything got on here, you can use the scrubby thing. Louise always wants to lick the spoon when you're at the sink, just so you know, so you can let her do that if you want. But when you open this afterwards, Amos will come in and clean. They'll clean up her a little bit. The last thing you want to check before you leave is her water, because she will have gotten raw food in it probably. So just like check the water before you go, and that goes for the dogs too. Let the puppies out to pee, and that's it.